Yeah, just guys, seriously, let's have fun and let's finish this thing. Let's make another one. This is really great. It's much more, maybe not fascinating, maybe not exciting, but it's something new. Forget about the rewards. As a matter of fact, at least in my part, I don't really care about the rewards. I don't really care about the status. I don't really care about being in the Hall of Fame or anything. I'm just doing it because it's fun, and we all have our jobs, we all have our lives to live, and if we can put something beautiful, something good into it, all the better. We got enough problems already, and yeah, it's just one way of getting rid of your problem. None of us are saints, no one's insane, and everyone's equally good. It's just that we're much better. We can see, we have this vision. We can feel what other players are gonna do, and you're gonna have to outsmart us. Don't beat the wall with your head. Don't think it's just 1 or 0. You know, computer language. You gotta think. You gotta adapt. You gotta outthink us. And yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, look at this big attack here by Paladin. He's going on with Siege. He's going for London. Does get the king. Moves his cap just before they get the sack. And Immaculate knows what time it is too. It's militia time, baby.
Oh boy. That's Demon King. Demon King is the kind of player who doesn't shy away from going all in. Intense battle going on here between Irish and Linky.
Wow, wait, is this legal?
I'll have to check the rule book.
Yeah, that was a game-changing moment.
His cap was taken, but it was just a distraction.
I know about Linky very much, so I think it will be not a very difficult game for me.
TNT is wait a second. Wait a second. Mouse calls the GG. Wait a second. What?
This is
Why is he calling GG? Mouse, you got a massive army. That is a lot of heavy knights, and this is the only time when they have a chance. If they don't destroy Linky's army right now, game's over. That'll be crazy.
And Colossus has gone down for Linky here, and he's Inca, guys. He's Inca. This is not just an ordinary Colossus. More about delaying that build.
Oh no, man! I have a feeling, and nobody is raiding Mouse. That's an issue. Nobody is raiding Mouse. Mouse is actually in the lead now. That was all of that.
So literally those arrows.
Sacrificed by Steve.
Oh, look, there is a hoplite there coming through.
Whoa!
Oh my god, is this gonna hit?
No. Will it get it there in time? Will it get it in time? Yeah, it gets there in time.
Is he gonna get the hit? Is he gonna get the hit? He does get the hit. Oh my god.
No, that was
Oh my god.
TNT saved the day in the end. What just happened, man? What just happened?
Clutch play I've ever seen in the history of Rise of Nations.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. This is ASE Paris speaking. I'm joined today by Filisberto. Say hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right. So this is the very last round of 16 stream. So definitely we're excited to cast the top 8 streams, some of them at least, not tomorrow, this coming weekend. So for those teams who are participating, please try and finish your best of 5s by then so we can have some casts ready. I believe John said the final deadline is next week. But if possible, try to get it done this weekend because we would really love to have some really exciting matches for you guys. So today's schedule, so this is the very last round of 16 game. This is EL versus AZ Spirit. The winner gets into the top 8 and the loser is out of the tournament. So pretty high stakes for both teams. And as I understand it, this is a rematch, right, Filisberto?
Yeah, this is a rematch. They met up first in the round of 16, round 1. EL took the win with a 2-1 game. However, AZ was able to get 1 win, so this should be an exciting elimination match.
Yeah, I think EL are definitely the favorites. Although they have looked rockier than I think some people have expected them. So we'll have to see. Maybe AZ can come up with some inventive strategies to take the win from EL, or EL will take home the victory. Either way, we'll have an exciting match, and then also at the very end of the stream, we'll be going over quickly what us to think about the top 8. And yeah, so quick reminder before the stream starts, if you like the, I was going to say Nordic Classic, if you like Nomadium 3 and you like our casting, be sure to donate to the donation link, the GoFundMe. You can find this GoFundMe on the tournament link, which is in the YouTube description below. So far, we've got $850 out of $1,000. We're making good progress. Thank you, everybody who's donated so far. We really, really appreciate it. It just makes things more exciting for our viewers and for our players. Yeah, and in the chat, I see Sean Kennedy. I'm not sure who that is. How's it going? And I see Hockey Star. What's up? Hope everybody is doing well today. Yeah, shall we just jump into it?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. All set up. So, looking forward to it.
All right, we've got EL versus AZ Spirit. I'm paused at 0 seconds and ready when you are.
Yep, just count us down.
All right, 3. Actually, wait, hold on 1 second.
Uh-oh.
No, I'll tell you about it later. 3,
Okay.
2, 1, go. All right, so obviously this is the third round of the round of 16, so we're going to start on African Watering Hole, and I already see Citrus there, so it's going to be a spicy game. Let's take a look at the players and their nations. So for AZ Spirit, we've got the Tier 1 player, AZ Old Monk with Japanese, Tier 2 player, AZ Lelouch with Americans, and Tier 3 player, AZ Ryuzaki with Indians. On the other side, we've got the Tier 1 player, El Dave with Japanese, Tier 2 player, El Boo is Bantu, and Tier 3 player, El Irish with Dutch with French. So these are pretty differing drafts, you know, despite the common Japanese picks. I think it's pretty clear to say AZ have picked a significantly greedier set of nations compared to their opponents. What do you think about this, Filisberto?
Yeah, they tend to be on the booming side. They got Americans with the Wonder, and then Indians boom very well into Age 4. But I do want to say that Indians with elephants can work well in a low eco environment. And you see that kind of environment in games on whole. Just eco's sparse, and elephants can be very impactful in this game just because they're very strong. And then on the other side, we have Bantu. Bantu is an all-around great pick. You can play at any map. And then they got French as well. French Despot on this map with Militia Pool can be very deadly. Looking forward to seeing EL and see what they can do with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think nations-wise, I got to give the favored nations to EL. I would definitely want their draft over AZ's. It just really feels like on AZ's side, they're going to be hard-pressed to have enough time to get the Indians player and the Americans player going, especially with, you know, a French player with a possible Despot, a Bantu player with those early Ancient raids. You know, just overall, I think EL have the better draft for this map.
Yeah, I would agree. EL definitely has more options than AZ. AZ is pretty much set on one plan, and if the enemy knows your plan and you're only one plans, you could be in deep trouble because EL could prepare for it.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at where the players are located. To start, we'll go with AZ. We've got the red Japanese player, AZ Old Monk, on this right corner over here. We've got his teammate, the light blue Indians player, AZ Ryuzaki. And then on the left wing, we've got the yellow Americans player, AZ Lelouch. Lelouch is straight across from the blue Japanese player, El Dave. In the pocket, we've got the green Bantu player, El Boo. And then on the right side, we've got the purple French player, El Irish with Dutch. Yeah, I mean, you said man. Why are you saying man?
Well, you don't want Americans right next to one of the fastest nations in the game, Japan across America. You want America to be in the pocket. You want America to have time.
Yeah.
America in the spot looks very scary from the start. So
yeah, I think Lelouch is going to be hard pressed to do much of anything this game. I mean, he could just die to a mill one early. He could die to, I mean, a whole lot of things. I feel like it's really being this close to a Japanese opponent. You know, Japan, obviously one of their main powers is they're just so much faster than any other nation. It can be really, really hard to win.
And then on top of that, he has no natural defenses. It's literally just a free highway to his Washington.
Yeah, it's quite awkward here.
Looking very rough on this side, at least.
Let's take a look at how much wood each of the players has. Where is oh my goodness, I'm so blind. Okay, so it looks like Lelouch has a +6. Dave has a +8.
Oh man.
Boo has a +5. Irish has a +5 with French. Indians player has a +6. and the red Japanese player has a +7. So yeah, I mean, the things do not look so great for friends of our friends of AZ Spirit or friends of AZ Lelouch here. You know, the library is almost finished for Dave. Lelouch still needs a little bit more resources to finish up that library, and I'm actually a little surprised he's queuing so many citizens because I think he needs to save food for Mill 1. But Dave is actually going to go for a commerce one.
Yeah, Dave has literally any option he can take and he'll be okay because he's Japan and in front of him is America, which is super slow. So any option Dave takes is going to work out in this case.
Yeah. We can take a quick look at the chat. I see Phantom. How's it going, Phantom? And I see Sean Kendi has wisely pointed out that AC doesn't have water.
Oh wow!
it actually just like barely misses out on the right side, and it's barely missing out on this left side as well. So that's a huge problem for them as well. I see Emerald Mage and Flathead. How's it going? You know, this is looking really, really bad for AZ Spirit here.
They do have citrus, so they can win water. Just they're going to be so late to water.
Yeah, I mean, citrus probably makes this like closer to even, but it still looks like a really, really hard game. Let's take a look at what rares each of the teams has. So for AZ Spirit, they've got citrus, they've got tobacco, and they've got amber, and this obsidian is probably theirs actually. I'm not. It could be rated by both, so it's not super safe. On the other side, for EL, they've got cotton, they've got marble, they've got pappy, and they've got bison as well as peacocks. So, you know, I think it's slightly in favor of EL in terms of rares. I think pappy is a great rare. The other rares are like very fine. Obviously, cotton is good for maxing out timber on this map, but the obviously citrus for AZ Spirit is great.
Yeah, I was just going to point out cotton's actually very underrated just because you have production rates reduced by 25%, so you can be spamming boats like no other. So cotton is even able to balance out citrus in some cases because you can just spam out more boats than the other guys.
Yeah.
So I think it's relatively balanced just because citrus is balanced out by cotton, so I think it's okay on both sides.
Yeah. Dave has finished up his Mill 1 and he's already making a bark. I don't know if... I think EL have scouted that their opponents don't have any water because they see Old Monk in the back here and Ryozaki's not here. Yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty yikes. I'm at 543 right now. We do see Old Monk going to go for a Civic. I kind of wish he would civ closer to the water, but, you know, yeah, I guess he might be able to reach it, I think. I don't know.
I think he'll get it. Yeah, he should be able to get it from there.
Dave has finished up his Mill 1. He would build a couple ships. He built a trireme and then a bark, and now he's going to pump out a barracks. So he's going to put pressure on the Americans player. And Lelouch, you know, wisely is already ahead of the game. He's going to throw down a barracks. But, I mean, just compare his eco compared to Dave's. I mean, it's really incomparable. Dave's going to have +100 very soon. And Lelouch is still on +60, +70. So...
Yeah, and then Dave's probably going to be raiding citrus very soon as well with his barracks, so...
Yeah. Yeah, they actually haven't scouted it yet for the side of EL. They have not scouted citrus. It's quite unfortunate for them, actually, that it's like a tiny little spot there. But Dave is going to queue up an archer.
Dave found the docks. He's shooting the docks right now.
Oh, you're right. And this is a crucial thing. Denying this dock is a huge deal. Just, you know, delaying your opponents even further, you're the only one with access to water. This looks like a pretty awful game for AZ Spirit, although this dock, it's making progress slowly. You can see the bar slowly going up, but it's, you know, that delay is definitely hurting him. And if Ryuzaki wants to throw down a dock, he's also going to be late to it. We do see a barracks for Ryuzaki pumping out some raiding units. And
I think they just pinged out citrus.
Oh yeah, now they have scouted citrus. Irish is going Civic instead of Mill. This could be a little risky for him. He's actually going to cancel his city because he sees the hoplites. And he's going to build his city in the back, possibly. I'm not entirely sure.
Ryuzaki just saw the city, so he had to cancel.
Yeah. On this left side, we see Lelouch actually getting aggressive, going to send out a decent-sized raiding party, a single unit of each class on this left side, and going to go for a raid on Dave. But Dave's going to be ready to age very soon. He only needs a little bit more food.
Yeah, and he's getting a tower just because he's going to be on one city with this age. So, yeah, this is just the responsibility of the Tier 1 player. You're supposed to be dominant on water, dominant on age time, and he's doing just that. He's playing very well.
Yeah. Boo has maxed out his eco. He's gone civic, and he's going to throw down a city on this left side, just putting more pressure on the Americans player. And I mean, just like comparing the ecos, Ryuzaki is really far behind. He really needs to get something done with this raid here. On this left side, the raid...
and then...
Or, no, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, I was just going to say, Irish with Dutch is getting a barracks up to stop the raids, and it won't be scouted, so he should be okay.
Yeah. These raids are definitely annoying for Ryuzaki raiding his opponents. Definitely, definitely helpful trying to put the pressure on the right side, so maybe Dave feels the need to spare some units. Where did Dave's raiding units go? Not entirely sure. And Lelouch is actually going to build over to the right side, interestingly enough. And Dave's going to go for Colossus. He's going to age and throw down that Colossus immediately.
Oh, man. He's just canceling out America.
Yeah, I mean,
the
now...
Americans can't win today, so...
Now for AZ's Spirit, I mean, they're in a really rough spot. They don't have any water because, they're only now producing ships. And their opponents have aged faster. They're getting Wonder. You can't really rush with Americans. It just doesn't really work. And so they're really in a tight corner now.
Yeah, and then the thing that counters Citrus is fireboats, and Dave is already sending them, so... Yep. Water should be very contested, even with Citrus.
Yeah. I'm at 9:15 right now. I just got 9:15.
9:15? Okay. Yeah, I was just 4 seconds ahead. That means we're doing good on time.
Yeah. Looks like a couple players are losing ships here. It looks like EL's micro is a little bit better. Old Monk losing a ship there, and he's actually going to walk this ship in. And we do see Ryuzaki kind of sitting there with the ship of his own. With Citrus, you really want to be fighting as constantly as you can with all your ships, so that you can get the maximum damage output as well as the maximum healing. So the game's not over by any sense of the means. AZ Spear are definitely keeping pace, at least in terms of score. But the game will get very hard for them very soon as Dave builds a large army with that Colossus.
Yeah, Japan on Colossus, and right next to America. I mean, you're gonna need like double forge or something.
Yeah. This is a really nice raid from Lelouch here on this left side. He's completely messed up all of these citizens here for Boo, as well as I think the wood camp. Yeah, he's completely denied the wood camp and the farms. I mean, even though it's not hurting Boo's eco that much, actually it is. Never mind, he's up +70. But it's definitely really, really helpful for AZ Spear. That gives him a good fighting chance. But now Lelouch is going to get counter-raided on this left side by Boo's, and Poxyella is going to get driven away.
Water-wise, there is a tower going up.
Yeah, there is a tower going up. Water, it looks like AZ are actually driving them back. It feels like Dave has been kind of left alone in the water. It feels like Boo and Irish have really not contributed much of anything. And in fact, AZ are now cleaning up the water. So this could be the beginning of a comeback. The scores have now evened out.
Yeah, that is true. However, Dave did spend 200 wood on Colossus, so
yeah,
that could contribute to losing water.
Yeah, and I imagine with the Colossus, he's going to fight back very soon. Colossus, one of the more underrated strengths of it is just increasing your chamber cap by 50. That is a huge deal in the early game, and later game, obviously, but it's a very, very big deal, just being able to afford so many more ships. And he's already started queuing up triremes, so...
Yep. And then the wood also allows you to build an eco, because you need buildings to build eco, and then Colossus allows you to get that extra wood, so very good.
Looks like everybody has age aside from Ryuzaki, who has a very slow age time because I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe, I think his own rates slowed him down considerably. But it looks like the game is kind of stabilized. Obviously, there's still a lot of fighting in the water, but so far, it looks like EL have a lot of garrison triremes, but they've lost control of the water, at least momentarily.
Yeah, they should be getting it back soon with Colossus and Fire Ralph, so I'm not too worried about them.
Irish is going to move his capital backwards, usually a sign that he doesn't want to be. He doesn't necessarily want to be up in his opponent's faces. And considering how far away from his opponent he is, like considering the city distance, I think he's right to move his move his capital far back. No need to force me.
There is 2 players on Irish's side, so it's a wise decision.
Dave's also going to move his capital back. Looks like EL are content to boom it up, given that they're the ones with the wonder, and they should have control of water very soon. Although it does look like Lelouch and Old Monk are kind of spamming Fire Rafts to counteract Dave's triremes, which is definitely a good choice.
Yeah, if you take a quick look at the resources sent, Lelouch just sent Old Monk 100 of something, which is a little strange. I don't know why he would do that, given the fact that he's the American guy in front of Japan, but he did send resources for some reason.
Yeah, definitely a little strange. Good for Lelouch of scouting here. And Lelouch is actually going to... he actually looks like he lost his units, a couple of raiding party back there. Didn't manage to sneak them all the way around. He's only got a slinger left. Irish is going to go for Republic, Boo as well. So yeah, it looks like EL are content to just sit back, let the game boom up. Let's take a look. What is Old Monk up to? Old Monk has gone Mill 2. He's queuing up a Siege Factory. Okay, he's infinite queuing Siege Factory. So it looks like he wants to be aggressive on the side, which makes sense. And Dave has gotten that galley, that galley upgrade. He's gotten 5 galleys, which is a huge force to be reckoned with on water, even against Citrus. Feels like AZ are going to need either a lot of Fire Rafts or galleys of their own, because I don't think they can fight this fleet.
Yep, Fire Rafts is the right answer, and then you want to hit multiple ships with Fire Rafts, like Fatabi showed us the other game. It can be very effective. So that's why micro is very important on this map. You always have to be keeping in mind of your boats.
Yeah, and also target firing, right? You don't just want to A move necessarily.
Yep.
Random raid here from Lelouch with the Light Horse, just keeping his opponents busy. But it looks like he might get a bribe.
What time are you at?
I'm at 1350.
Okay.
All these galleys are a really nice investment for Dave. He's just forcing them in, and fortunately for him, Irush is choosing to has built a couple of light ships, which has kind of stymied their opponent's Fire Rafts for the time being, at least. We've got 2 catapults for Old Monk, but not really any army yet. A little bit surprised by that. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just going to point out the gold. Everyone's hovering or averaging around 60 gold, which is pretty okay, except for the Americans player, and it just really shows the danger of having to be in front of Japan, because he really can't boom up like he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, the Americans player is really struggling for Econ right now. He went for Civic 2. Looks like he was just floating a lot of food. And so now he's going to get that third city up, which is definitely going to help. And now Citrus is getting raided, and this is really unacceptable. He needed to tower this much earlier. He has the resources, and he also has a sender for bribing. It's no reason this should be getting raided. But instead, Dave's going to get away with murder here. Three merchants down.
And their most important rare, so devastating blow.
Yeah, Lelouch is just really far out of position here. This is one of those games where it's definitely worth it to just put a light horse on patrol in the front, just scout your opponent's army continuously, because you just need to not lose your army randomly. And Dave's actually going to sneak into the water to get away from these archers and the senator bribe. Nice little move from Dave there.
He's out. Look at him go.
Big combat on the right side. It looks like Old Monk and Ryuzaki have gathered enough forces to put a ton of pressure on.
Here we go, boys.
On Irush, and I'm surprised that Boo hasn't anticipated this. He's way on this left side.
Yeah, and then where's the siege factory for French? He needs to be getting that healing.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
What the heck? They're just brute forcing this.
Yeah, they are just brute forcing it. There's catapults that are just now sieged. Nope. I think. Where did the bribe go for Irush? Maybe he got the force march away or something.
Yeah, he doesn't have up for bribe, and then there's a free elephant just running around.
Yeah, this elephant's doing work. I mean, this tower's also doing work, but no militia for Irish yet. I'm surprised that
What
Old Monk
the
hasn't
heck?
pulled some militia. Because
Is this actually gonna work? This just brute force
I mean, they're just
gonna
going to
work?
take the city. That's
What
225
the
wealth
heck?
plunder
Very sloppy. Holy cow!
for Old Monk. He needs to make army and fast because all these militia are going to be a problem. They're just going to take back the city like immediately here.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna take it back immediately, but this city shouldn't have gone down in the first
No,
place.
it shouldn't have.
You're French, and then you expect to get doubled. There's 2 cities in front of you. I don't know, just very sloppy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if Irish had militia a little bit earlier, he easily wins this. But now, I mean, it's still going to be a win. There, the Old Monk and Ryuzaki have thrown away a lot of units here, but
Yeah, he pulled his whole militia, and he still has 80 food income. He's gonna be fine.
yeah.
Wow, yeah, that was unexpected. That if this was much closer game, that could have been game changing.
Yeah, definitely. A bit of a sloppy play from Irish to not have a tower and attrition ready. But I'm actually really surprised.
If you look, even Boo's militia's here. It's just a militia party.
Yeah, Boo's got some militia. He's like, I'm here to help. Don't worry, I got you. I'm really surprised that Ryuzaki and or Old Monk didn't pull militia as well. I mean, like, what were they expecting? Like, obviously they took the city, but that's only because their opponents didn't, like, Irish just didn't happen to have militia in time.
Yeah, I know. It's just sloppy play, I think. And then all the other team already has the winning position, so they have to hold, and they're gonna pull all the militia. So you have to go out on the other side as well.
Yeah, on this left side, Dave's gonna be pressuring the Americans player.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of trouble, and water is definitely one for EL. I mean, Dave's fleet of triremes.
Dave alone. Yeah, by Dave alone. Just the power of tier 1 and the responsibility as well. Just pulling his weight, and then you can see the American player doesn't even have upgrades. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's super dead, right? Like, he has a smaller army than an upgraded Japanese army. He has lower eco.
Yeah, and then Americans can be very strong, but this is why they're not tier 1. Because if they're in a confrontational situation like this, they can have the opportunity to be punished, and Dave is showing that here right now. Dave is even pulling militia, so it's looking like it's going to be all in for him over here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his eco, I think he'll be fine even if he like takes a bad trade, as long as he cripples his opponent's eco.
All in's a mischaracterization. He's just utilizing his advantage.
Yeah.
Because he's in a comfortable spot.
Yep. Looks like Lelouch is going to be losing his army here, but Old Monk's actually here to reinforce. His units are kind of out of position, and he doesn't have upgrades, but I think Dave actually wins 2v1 here. Although Boo is here to back him up with a couple of units, with a lot of units.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Boo's
game
just running across the map.
This game looks pretty over. Well, we'll have to see if AZ call it, but this looks like a yikes for me.
Unlucky with the positioning for Americans
definitely.
to be in front of Japan.
Also, not having access to water, that was a huge blow.
I would hesitate on saying that just because you're in control. You just control where you civ, so they should have got.
Fair.
That's their mistake. Yeah.
But the fact that they didn't plan ahead and make somebody walk closer to the center, I mean, that is a huge problem. That ended up being a huge problem for them.
No, that's a team mistake. No one can blame them but them. Because
exactly.
you need to know that you need to secure it. One person should be walking to water. So.
Yeah. Looks like Old Monk managed to throw away all his archers while he's upgrading crossbows. So, I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, if you look at Dave and Boo's armies, I mean, they just have a much larger army. So,
then Dave knowing how to use militia perfectly is very well done. There's not much you can do to stop militia pulls.
Yeah.
So, well, besides attrition, but if the enemy's not expecting it, you can just surprise them with it, and it worked out.
So, moral of the story is Russians OP?
Well, Russians will be safe, I can tell you that. But even in this spot, the thing you can do is just if you have so much militia, you can just charge in and instant cap the city before your militia dies. So
Yeah, that's
it
fair.
goes both ways. But Russians are underrated in that aspect. They can be pretty well protected.
Yeah, AZ desperately trying to fight back, and in fact, Ryuzaki's going to be the one rotating over to the left. I still don't think they have enough army to defend this capital.
3v1, well 3v2, I guess.
Yeah,
Boo's here as
3v2,
well.
but yeah, I mean, Lelouch has nothing. He's not even at 1,000 score. He threw away all his militia. He's super dead. Irish has definitely recovered.
Irish has just been chilling. I don't know what he's done most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he just defended and he's like fought a little bit of water, and that's about it. He's like, he could die right now, and I think the game is still very ill favored.
Oh, for sure. Americans is nowhere close to aging. I think 0 scholars, no library, 1 city. Man. Very rough. I don't blame him too much because his American positioning was so unlucky. But then again, why pick Americans in such a risky map?
Yeah, I mean,
so
on this map, it really felt like AZ had such a greedy draft, and they really got punished for it. Like, what?
Yeah.
I felt like this Indian player would have been much better as like, I don't know, like a French player or a I don't know what else is in tier 3. Like an Aztec player, maybe.
Nubians, Persia, Aztecs. Yeah, even Greeks too.
Yeah, Greeks maybe. Yeah, but I mean, this game's very over. Dave's gonna throw down Hanging Gardens just for the fun of it, but GG is called.
Yeah, GG's called, and then I think your description of greedy draft is perfect, just because they picked everything that just booms to 4, but you're not gonna make it to 4 playing teams like this, teams like EO, and on maps like this especially.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for game number 1. It's gonna be a victory for EL. I'm gonna update the score very quickly. And then we are going to jump straight into game number 2.
Yeah, I know. I will look at the chat. I know Jatton's pointing out citrus is much better than cotton, which is very true. I was just trying to make the point that cotton is very underrated rare as terms as fighting water, just because you can spam boats.
All right. EL versus AZ elimination match, game number 2.
Yeah, so we're going right into it.
Yeah. All right. I'm paused at 1 second when you're ready.
Okay. Yeah. Count us down.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this time it looks like we are on. It looks like we are on Himalayas. That's AZ's choice of map. They kind of got run over last game, so it makes sense that they would pick a slightly slower map. Let's take a look at the players and their nations.
Yeah.
So for AZ, they've got Old Monk as tier 2 with Inca. They've got Lelouch with tier 3 as Nubians, and tier 4 is Ryuzaki with Chinese as tier 4. Oh, I already said tier 4. What am I doing? For EL, they've got Dave as tier 2 with Inca. Tier 3 is Steez with Indians, and tier 4 is Irish with Dutch with Chinese. So it looks like they swapped Boo out for Steez in game number 2. This looks like almost an exact mirror match, except for Indians versus Nubians, so I guess we'll talk about that. What do you like Indians versus Nubians on this map?
On this map, Himalayas is obviously a booming map, and Indians versus Nubians, very tight, I would say, because the rares can boost Nubians to catch up with Indians. And then once Indians will have the army strength, of course, but Nubians can have the booming strength just slightly, because Indians are very good boomers. But Nubians is all going to depend on the rares. So if Nubians can have a great start, he should be able to pull away. But if anything reaches to 4, the Indian player is just going to start dominating with the elephants. So I think I like Indians more, just because Nubians is a little bit more risky, and Indians gives you the army priority. So
yeah, I think I give the slight edge to AZ. I do like Nubians a little bit more than Indians, but that's like a personal gripe with Indians as a nation. I just think like not being able to rotate your cavalry quickly is like such a problem, and also it makes like your build order is like really jank. Like you like don't go mill 2, but then you need siege, but you also can't afford mill 2 and senator and maxing out your food income. It's kind of hard. It makes it really feel hard to play, and I feel like as a Nubians player, you're much happier in that sea if you have like any sort of knowledge rares that you can get a boost with.
Yeah, I mean, you could, I could see that, but again, this is Himalayas, so everybody's very far apart, and the likelihood of going to age 4 is very likely. So
That's true.
I guess we can agree to disagree, but I'll take Indians on this one.
All right, well, let's take a look at where the players are located across the map. We can start with EL this time. On the right side, we have the blue Chinese player, El Irish with Dutch. On the left side, we have his 2 teammates. In the back, the yellow Inca player, El Dave. And then above him, the orange Indians player, El Steez. Across from them, we have the red Inca player, AZ Old Monk. And then on the right side, kind of up in their own world, we've got AZ Lelouch with the purple Nubian player and AZ Ryuzaki, the light blue Chinese player. So pretty spread out. We can talk about the rares quickly because we have a Nubians player that I'm going to thank you very much, Lelouch. We're going to use your market to help us assess the rares of each team. Let's take a look. So for AZ, they've got Pappy next to Shanghai. There's Salt, and then on the right side, there's Wine. In the center, there's Diamonds. There's Tobacco next to Napada. On the left side, there's Silver, Peacocks, Dye, Horses, and Furs, which is contestable by both teams, and Silk. And then in the middle of the map, again, the kind of contestable of both teams, we've got Obsidian, we've got Copper. I mean, whatever. People are probably not going to fight over those, and Citrus. On the other side, for EL, they've got Marble. They've got Amber moving further to the left. They've got Gems in the back pocket. There's Relics kind of in the middle there. There's Bison. There's Silk. Oh, I said that earlier. There's Silk Part 2 next to Chan Chan. And there's Sugar next to Delhi. And obviously Furs, which is contestable, as I mentioned. So, pretty interesting set of rares. What do you think? Who do you think has the edge?
Well, China Pappy is obviously going to be very powerful. They can get to 4 very quickly. And then they also have Silver at the top.
And they have Diamonds. Those are three of the best rares. Obviously, I don't know if they'll have access to Furs.
I think
it might be close.
I think AZ actually has better rares because they have Horses with Inca and Indians. And then they have Silver, Dye, and China with Pappy. So I'm giving it to get the edge to AZ.
AZ actually don't have Indians. It's the other team. But yes, I think...
Oh, crap. Okay.
I mean, I think you're right. Well, I think they have a lot of great wealth rares. They have a zillion knowledge rares, right? They have Dye, they have Spice, they have Tobacco, there's Wine on the right side. Like, they have Peacocks in case they don't get Colossus. Like, I think they're very well set up for a late game boom. Like, Diamonds, Pappy, and Silver really make up these set of rares. Obviously, I wouldn't count EL out. You know, they have their own decent rares. Gems is a pretty great one. They have Sugar as well, and Silk. But, I mean, really, their rares are just not as good. They really drew the short end of the stick. They have Relics, which is obviously awesome, but
yeah, and then Relics is in the middle of everything. It's not too safe. It could be rated pretty easily. So
yeah.
I'm going to give it the edge to AZ for sure.
Yeah, same. City placement-wise, it's a little scary for Old Monk. You know, he's pretty close to his opponents. I could see this game being a game where Dave goes Despot with Inca and just tries to kill the opposing Inca player because their opponents have better rares. But obviously, you know, assuming Old Monk scots that out, he might want to build... Well, actually, he probably has to build forward to contest Furs. I was going to say he could build back, but...
Well, yeah, and then I don't think EL doesn't see Sugar or Furs right now.
Oh, wow.
And neither does both teams. Don't no. AZ does see Furs, but they don't see Sugar. Both teams don't see Sugar.
Yeah, I'm at 5:15. Just got 5:15.
Okay, yeah, I'm only 3 seconds ahead. We're doing good on timing.
Nice. Yeah, so it looks like everybody's gone Calm 1. If you look at the little indicator on the right, again, you can tell which researchers they have. The first member is Mill, Civic, Commerce, Science. That's a nice replay thing you can look at. So it looks like everybody's gone for that Commerce 1 research. Nothing too surprising. I'm assuming we're going to see a bunch of Civ 1s afterwards. Oh, wow, crazy. People going a standard build.
Yeah, especially on Himalayas, everything's normal.
Yeah.
No need to worry.
Yeah, just a nice chill boom game. Okay, just never mind about the nice chill boom game. We've got Mill 1 from Lelouch here who's thrown out of barracks.
Yeah, I was about to say that, and there's going to be an early Civ in the front, so maybe that Mill 1 can catch the Civ, because it looks like they're trying to Civ closer. Steez is trying to Civ closer.
Yeah, Steez he has 3 citizens here, so he's probably okay, and Dave also choosing to build to the right. Unfortunately for EL, they haven't scouted that Furs or, I mean, obviously, or the Sugar. So, very unfortunate for them. But Dave City is going to go up, and Steez is also going to build pretty backwards. So it looks like AZ are going to have access to Furs, and that's a big problem for EL. I mean, their best rares are now Sugar, Gems, and Relics, which are not bad rares at all. But compared to their opponents, you know, it's in a longer game, it's not really great.
Yeah, I think EL just pinged Silver, so they do know about Silver, and they're going to try to raid it. I know there's a citizen up there punching punching Lelouch's merchant right now.
Get him!
Go, go, go!
24 out of 135. Taste it. Punch him. 4 damage per hit. All right. Looks like Lelouch has scouted Furs for his team, and both the cities for EL are going to go up. That's pretty nice for them. I'm not going to get slowed down by the Nubians raid too much.
Yeah, and then the tricky thing with the rocks is there could always be a rare at the edge. So even if you tower scout, you could miss the rocks because you think, oh, it's just rocks, but then you're just missing Sugar, one of the best rares in the game. So it's a little unfortunate there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you were Steez, you'd really love to know about that Sugar, but unfortunately, he just doesn't scout it right now.
Yeah, and then hopefully Lelouch doesn't give away Sugar, because you could also do that. Moving your troops and like rares that your opponent hasn't seen, your defender's going to chase you, and you can run into Sugar, so he might actually be helping the other team with this raid.
Yeah, that's true.
If Steezy walks up that way, he's going to see Sugar, so it could be risky.
Yeah, let's see how much damage Lelouch can get done here with these units. He has 3 units, and his opponents don't. Actually, Steez just finished researching Mill, but he's probably going to lose some citizens for this at least on this wood camp here.
If you look in the middle, there's a boxing match going on. iRush is just boxing out some merchants, and has actually caused 2 merchants to leave.
Wow!
So very well done by him.
Yeah, Ryuzaki's now chasing that citizen for iRush. Get him!
Get him!
It's a citizen brawl in the middle of the map.
Yep, and then if we go back to the raids, he's caused Steezy to go all in, back inside, so...
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty devastating raid. Steez is going to lose another citizen here to the 2 Archer plus a Hoplite combo. That's really, really nice for Lelouch. Now he just needs to get out with these units, and I think he'll be very happy. I
think he'll get one more at the wood camper as well.
Oh, yeah, wow, Steez... Unfortunately, like, I think he definitely could have prevented this, just the micro was not quite there. I think is that 3 citizens killed?
I think it might be 3, yeah.
Yeah, that's 3 citizens. That's a pretty devastating blow early on, especially considering the Nubians player is still doing very well for themselves in terms of eco and researchers. I mean, they already have 1-1-1-1, so...
He made Indians player make another wood camp. Steezy went to make another wood camp, and even the walking distance is long, so very, very effective.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Steez is definitely slowed down. Oh my goodness, look at Dave. He's saying, screw Mill, I'm just going to throw down Colossus, if you look at his money. Of
course.
I think he's going to go for it. Yep, he is going to throw down the Colossus. Very early Colossus, and let's hope it's worth it, because, I mean, his ally got raided a bunch, and now Lelouch is going to walk into Silk, so...
No, man. Inca with Colossus is just too much. You're unbeatable with Inca Colossus. So I mean, he's just securing his side at least.
Yeah.
AZ's now on the clock because Inca Colossus can 2v1 because you're gonna be hitting 300 gold very fast.
Yeah, and here iRush is gonna lose his. It looks like iRush is gonna lose Merchant to this raid from Lelouch. These units, some of the more effective Age 1 raiding units we've seen so far. Going to be able to pick off at least 1 Silk Merchant, and this Hoplite might be able to stay alive. It's going to be close.
Yeah, and he's headed straight to Bison. Very well done by Lelouch. Very well done.
Oh, he's actually turning around. Just kidding.
Oh, what the heck? Okay, maybe he grabbed all 3.
Horizon Nation's pathing, Lamar. If you take a look at the light blue Chinese player, he's actually gone for Science 2 with Pappy. Definitely an interesting choice. I'm not entirely sure if that's worth it, because it costs, like, so much food. But it could be.
Actually, I mean, it's very cheap with Science. I think it's very worth it.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of food as Persia Civ 2. And it's just for booming, it's very good. So I'm okay with it.
EL are wisely going to move away their merchants from Bison before that gets raided by this raiding party.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, there we go.
Very fortunate for them. It was, I don't know who made the call, but it was a good move. They're not going to lose any more merchants to this devastating raiding party from Lelouch. Killed 4 units so far.
And now they're moving gems as well.
Wow,
very well done,
they're going to move.
EL.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like, obviously it's good to not lose your merchants, but also it's definitely hurting them not being able to use these rares. We have a raid in the middle of the map on diamonds. Nice counter raid from iRush. He's just chasing away all these units. This is a really nice raid himself. Surprised there's no light horses or anything here to chase these units away.
Yeah, there should be horses coming in, but this just to talk about Lelouch again. His 3-unit raid killed 3 villagers, slowed down Steez, made another wood camp, moved like 9 merchants. Like Lelouch's raid has been on point.
This is an excellent raid so far.
Yeah.
iRush is raiding Ryuzaki here. Everybody has age except from Ryuzaki, who's just about to finish. I'm at 11-10. Surprised we haven't seen any wonders from any of the other players. Obviously, they could be playing definitely a bit more defensive, a bit more conservative, but I would love to see a Hanging Gardens from either Ryuzaki or Lelouch here.
You're going to need a wonder to balance out. I mean, if you look at Inca Colossus right now, he's already at 150 gold. And this is why I say Inca Colossus is just unstoppable, especially if you give him time.
Yeah.
And then even Dave said, he just typed in chat, no wonder they're going to rush, which is exactly right. You can't match the wonder of Dave if you're not building one. So
yeah,
Dave is preparing for the rush.
We do see Senator coming out from all the players, and if you look at the scores, everybody's pretty closely tied aside from Steez, who's definitely dragging behind. He lost all those units early on. He's forced to make another wood camp. He's definitely struggling. He's only now throwing down his Senate. So it could be a game where AZ are on a ticking time. This Inca player with Colossus is ticking time bomb.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be at 200 gold very fast. So, yeah, I mean, even Dave called it out perfectly. If they're not gonna make a wonder to match it, they have to rush. Otherwise, they're just gonna lose. So it's up to AZ right now. AZ's in the hot seat.
Yeah, iRush, nice raids in the middle. These units still haven't gotten cleaned up. This is pretty sloppy from AZ not to have built a stable by now. I mean, it's just like these units are free units if you build a stable, but
yeah, very weak raiding party as well. It takes a while to kill any merchants. If you look, it's easy. You can just wipe that out pretty easily.
Yep. Nice ambush from Lelouch, or from I think it's Lelouch, yeah, to save the merchant there.
Save the merchant, and then he did send Rizuku sent a horse, but so did iRush with Dutch. iRush is sending 2 horses actually. So now his raiding part is getting stronger.
Yeah, and Dave is starting to raid here. He's got a random cataphract that's going to raid horses. I mean, it's pretty annoying to deal with this, even though there is a tower here. And he's also got another cataphract in the back here. Nice raids from Dave. And iRush has a lot of units in the center, so it looks like EL have actually taken control of the center. They've gotten a bit of map control for themselves, which is really nice. Denying your opponent's diamonds is really important, right? That's going to hinder their wealth income a lot.
Yeah, they're just not protecting their valuable rares, which is strange. As you can see, there's nothing at silver, nothing at peacocks. If EL wanted to, they could just take all of those easily. I think Dave's actually heading that way as well, with the heavy cap.
Yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculously greedy to leave silver unguarded like that.
Yeah, arguably one of the relics, diamonds, and silver. One of the best. Yeah. I mean, the best, I guess.
Another raid from Lelouch. He's going to take out Dave's Obsidian Merchant. Anything to slow down the Inca player, who's already at 183 wealth income. That's the commerce cap.
Exactly.
Doesn't have a senator, but, Oh, he's actually gone Despot. Hold up.
Oh, yeah.
Hold up.
He's gone Despot.
Dave is Despot. He has maxed out eco, 183 wealth. He has 77 scholars for 75 wealth income. I don't know if AZ's ready for this. They might just die here.
It's Inca Despot with Colossus.
It's close, but Steez has a lot of units, and I mean, I'm not actually sure who wins this, but
I think the cadet spot will.
Yeah, I think Lelouch's been skipping too much on units. He has 120 metal income, and he's floating 400 metal, but he's not spending it. So
I don't see any army from red or purple. They literally have nothing. So.
yeah, it looks like Old Monk's gonna throw away a senator. That's pretty bad against
Season of Giving
player.
returns.
Yeah, Season of Giving. It's not quite Christmas or whatever, but.
Oh my god, yeah, and then Dave has 2 sieges on the way, and then Red has 0 army with, like, oh my god, yeah, Jesus, 200 gold with Inca Colossus that spot. Very hard to stop.
Yeah, I'm just very confused. Like, what have they been spending their what has Old Monk been spending his money on? Like, I know he has a very nice eco, but hello?
Yeah, wait a minute, he's the Inca player. He needs to have infinite Q heavy from the very
I feel like he should
always
have much more army, but he's like really dragging and like Davis on top of the score despite being Despot. Like he has a pretty large army, and his eco is like similar to the other Inca player. Like, what's happening here? Let's take a quick look at the right side. It looks like it's just a raiding war continuous. Looks like AZ never were able to gain control of diamonds again. That's on Ryuzaki. He has a bunch of metal. He's not spending it.
You need light horses to defend, and he's defending with heavy horses. It's just not going to work. Look, because the light horses are sniping another diamonds merchant.
Yeah, it's going to pick off another one. I mean, it's just like a bit sloppy from Ryuzaki. And I mean, the problem's on this left side. They just don't have enough. They've been like skimping on units. Somebody's aging. Okay. Old Monk is aging, but I don't think he's going to get it. Dave's going to pull militia. There is attrition.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see it. I'm at 16 minutes. He's going to run in with the elephants are kind of in the back, which is not ideal. But he is going to take this city pretty easily because he just has way more army, and their opponents they're just skipping on army. Yep. Wow. Again, Dave using the militia to his advantage, and he's going to get a very favorable trade here.
Yep, militia pulls will always win if done right, so very well done by Dave.
The city's actually going to get taken back momentarily with all the militia pulled from Lelouch. Yeah, and that's pretty fortunate. Hopefully he can get a good trade out of this if you're AZ fans. The city is... Hopefully it's going to go up. It is going to turn into a medieval age, so that means there's no way EL are going to take the city, at least momentarily.
Yeah, they can head back. They seem to be okay, but let's check Red's gold income is 78 as Inca.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the rest of his eco, it's really not doing great. He lost a lot of militia, a lot of units. And Dave, you know, he's not aged yet, but he lost all of his heavy cavalry, but he has all his archers, which are extremely important. And Steez, you know, he has all his elephants still alive, so that's really nice for them.
You just keep stacking elephants, mini tanks in age 2, so.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the advantage of Despot, he just traded all that eco with Red, but he's Despot. He's already max eco again, with Despot making units, so he's going to be ready to go again.
Yeah, he went back for that Calm 2 because I think he just had the resources. He's going to go for an Age now. Irush is raiding in the back, 3 horses on these very unprotected Silver and Peacocks merchants. I mean, what is Ryuzaki doing? Like he's trying, but it looks like he's just taking really, really bad trades against Irush.
Yeah, and then even Lelouch is getting upset. He's pinging the raids. Ryuzaki's just really dropping the ball right here.
Yeah, I mean, like they're unable to use diamonds. They're unable to use peacocks. They're unable to use silver. Like, what is Ryuzaki up to?
This is the Chinese player raiding, who doesn't really have the units to raid like that. So just very, very unfortunate. I think.
It just feels like extremely sloppy from Ryuzaki to let all those units through. Like. Or, like, at least counter-raid your opponent, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, even Lelouch was doing the counter-raiding. I mean, that's fine, and you just have to defend, because you guys aren't even using diamonds.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
All these merchants are going to get cleaned up. Really nice work from Irush. Irush is going to be the last one to age, but he's still doing pretty well in the score department. And Lelouch is the one who's starting to fall a bit behind. Just losing all these merchants has really hurt the Nubian player.
If you look at Dave's gold, it's at 250, which
Oh
is
my
exactly
goodness.
what we predicted. Which is why I say you should never lose with Colossus Inca. But he did go Despot, so there is a chance.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
won't auto him with Despot all the time. You have to pick it.
Does look like Dave is a little late getting his production down, and this city of Jamshedpur is getting sieged. Although it looks like Lelouch and Old Monk don't quite have enough army to deal with all these elephants from Steez.
And it's a very tight choke. Like there's a lot of buildings. You want to siege those. You want space when taking a city. So if it's in a choke point like this, it's very easy to defend.
Yeah. Dave is just spamming heavy cavalry to raid Lelouch. If you look at, he has like 7 units here. He's just like spamming heavy cavalry.
It's the power. Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god.
The micro.
The Irish was already doing an excellent job. He already denied all the rares. So on top of this, all these raids from Dave are going to go to eco. Like if you see, he's hitting the caravan as well.
Yeah, he's hitting caravans. He's hitting merchants. His units are burning, but they're going to deal a lot of damage, and he can afford the losses, right? His eco's completely popping off.
150, 250 gold. No, those are free to him. He can send those all day.
They're going for a charge in this left side. It looks like Steez walked out a little bit too far. He's going to lose some crossbows for that.
Man. What is Steez doing?
But AZ are taking heavy losses for this. I mean, these heavy archers are just not as good as crossbows. And for the most part, AZ are kind of... Oh, they do take the city.
Yeah, they do take it.
Jamshedpur is taken. I'm a little bit surprised.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, AZ don't really have any heavy infantry left, so they can't actually fight against a militia pull.
What the heck?
I would like to see Steez just run in with a militia, but Dave just threw down a bunch of production, so this could be a turning point, right? AZ, you know, they're definitely behind in this game, but they could come back, although it looks like they're going to lose this city.
Yeah, and then Dave sent all those raiding units expecting an easy hold from Steez, so I think Steez is just dropping the ball again.
Yeah, and if you look at the right side of the map, it looks like iRush is taking a good trade once again against Ryuzaki. Really feels like despite the rares being in favor of Ryuzaki, he really has not been able to have the impact that he should. Like he's really dropping the ball here this game.
Yeah, I think he's just getting outplayed. I think iRush is just the better player right now, and he's showing it.
Yeah.
Dominant on raiding, dominant even with lesser rares, just doing very well done. Very well played by iRush.
Let's take a look at the game stats here. Yeah, I mean, iRush has killed like double the amount of units he's lost. So, and Ryuzaki, the opposite's true. So, yeah, pretty clear. Definitely nice work from iRush. He's really keeping his team...
It's literally flip-flop.
Ahead, yeah.
Oh, man.
Dave's still raiding with these heavy cavalry. Units are burning, but it's taking attention away from the front lines. And Old Monk's eco is really suffering because of it. He's only at 60 wood. He's at 110 food. He really can't afford to deal with all of these raids, but he's also only at 65 knowledge income, and Dave's at 130.
Yeah, and then Dave's micro with the raids is just going to be on point. He's plays standard very well. I think he won the tournament for standard 1v1. So his raids are going to be very effective just from doing it in standard alone.
I mean, and now this game looks really, really hard for AZ. I mean, they're losing the right side. We've got 3 sieges sieging down the production buildings for Ryuzaki. Ryuzaki's behind in tech as well against iRush. And on his left side, I mean, Dave's completely out of control. He's got Science 3. His eco's not amazing. He could get a little bit more food and timber, but, you know, 250 wealth income, 120 knowledge, you know, can't ask for much more. Steez is, he's hanging in there. He's trying his best.
Yeah, I don't know why Steez is not maxing out his wood. They still haven't found sugar, but interesting play by Steez.
Yeah, they still haven't found sugar. That's pretty sad. Rip.
If you look at although Red's eco is maxed out, that's good, and he's getting Science 3, so I think he should be able to catch Dave, because Dave still doesn't have 21 scholars, but neither does Red actually. So
I mean, if you look at Old Monk, he's only at 65 knowledge. He only has 7 scholars. He's gonna fall behind very quickly, despite having access to. Well, he would have access to silver, but I got raided a couple times, so.
Yeah, his eco's not doing well.
Oh,
yeah, I mean.
Oh, what just happened? Oh, there was a drop, I think.
Oh, what the heck? Am I paused as well?
I'm at 22:28. The game just stopped.
Yeah, it stopped for me as well. Was there a re?
I'm assuming there was a drop.
If anyone in the chat could let us know.
Yeah,
why this
I'm
paused.
assuming it was a drop.
Yeah, I think it is a drop because I'm fast forwarding. They're not unpausing. So
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
guys,
it looks like a drop.
I
All
think
right.
we have to go to game 3.
Well, yeah. So let's quickly review the rules here, and also Jet, if you could weigh in from chat. I'm gonna open up my.
Jet in the chat, come save us.
I'm gonna open up my internet browser here.
Wow, yeah, this was looking to be very interesting. I wanted to see what Inca Colossus could have done.
All right, so
but
if we look at
that's
the
not
rules, so drops. So if a player drops / lags out during the early game, okay, whatever. If a player during
Oh,
a
we're
match,
saying
the
early
dropping team has 3 options. They may replace the drop player with AI, which it looks like that didn't happen because the game just ended. They may forfeit the match, or they may request a rematch. So if a team whose player dropped who requests a rematch, so the opposing team's captain can agree to replay the match in good faith if they deem the game to be in the balance. So we're not sure who dropped because it didn't say on the
who
screen.
dropped?
But if assuming like it was clear that EL was ahead in that game, right? Like clearly they were
for
ahead.
sure.
Yeah.
If you even look at Inca's red, he was way behind.
I mean, they were just losing both the sides. The momentum was in EL's favor. Both the sides, EL was winning. It's clearly that EL were ahead. But the case could be that if EL dropped, if a member of EL dropped, then AZ can request a rematch, and then EL can request a rematch, and AZ will say sure. On the other hand, if if a player of AZ was the one who dropped, and they request a rematch, EL have the right to say no, we were ahead. We were significantly ahead. That should be a win for us. I'm not entirely sure. We could take a quick look at the chat. Still nobody's speaking out, but that's all right.
Saying anything.
I'm gonna load up the third replay, and assuming if it's like an actual replay, then we can assume that they replayed it. Otherwise, it's an EL victory.
It seems to be the same players. It seems to be the same map. And seems to be same nation, so I think they just rematched it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's same map, same nation, same players. So I think they rematched it.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go back to the resignations then.
Okay. So yeah, we'll just pick up from here. This will be our game 2 then. We're gonna start over with game 2.
Yeah. All right. So again, Himalayas, and if we look at the players and their nations,
Let me know the countdown.
Oh, sorry, I unpaused it. Okay, can you go to 12 seconds?
Yeah, I'll catch up.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we just start all over again. We're good.
All right. Are you at 12 seconds?
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at the players and their nations. There's a slight change up here. So Dave and EL's the same, but for AZ they've swapped out. Who did they swap out? It's somebody for trees. I'm still blanking.
Trees. Language of trees.
Oh, they swapped out Lelouch for trees.
Lelouch. Oh, I wouldn't have done that, but
yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways, yeah. So that is going to be that we're just gonna play it out like that and hope for the best.
Yeah. If you look in the chat, they're talking about the lag. So they're saying lag, don't see any, kind of gone now. And then Steezy says he turned off everything. So I think they should be good. I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm assuming by this chat that I'm assuming that one of EL was the one who dropped, and so for that reason, they're doing no rematch.
Oh yeah, could this be match point then? Do you think AS took the point?
Or AZ? I mean, it's still. I think it's
AZ. Yeah.
I think it's still 1-0, but I'm not entirely sure. Again, it would be helpful.
Can AZ take the point though?
I mean,
if EL dropped, can't they just force the point because the other team dropped, or they just rematch?
So in the rules, it's like it's a good faith thing. Like obviously, like sure they can say like no, we were ahead. You were gonna take the point, but that just like clearly they were behind. So
that would have been rude.
Yeah, that would have been like not good sportsmanship. And I'm assuming that none of these teams are. I'm assuming they are good sports. So I'm assuming this is like a game 2.
Okay,
this is just a
we'll
recount of game 2. I think I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about the rares quickly. So, or actually, we'll talk about where the players are located. So we've got AZ Ryuzaki, the blue Chinese player on the top side. In the pocket, we've got the green Nubians player, AZ Language of Trees. And then on the left side, we've got the light blue Inca player, AZ Old Monk. Across from him, we've got the orange Indians player, El Steez. In the pocket, we've got the red Inca player, Dave, and then in the top side, we've got the purple Chinese player, Irish Dutch. Let's quickly talk through the rares. So for AZ, they've got access to copper, bison, peacocks, obsidian. On the backside, they've got horses, and in the middle, there's marble, relics, and wool. And then on the top side, there's silk, spice, and sugar. For EL, they've got access to amber. I'm moving further down. They've got furs, pappy, wine, silver, tobacco, salt, another tobacco, cotton, and diamond. So pretty clear that EL have the better rares here.
The rare switched to EL in favor, but I mean, AZ we're losing with the better rares last game, so
yeah.
I mean, just to make things worse, EL gets the better rares, so this is looking rough already.
Yeah. Shall we? I mean, we've already talked through the nations and stuff, but this looks like a standard match spawn. So, and there's also die in the middle. I missed that.
Yeah, everything's like literally symmetrical.
Yeah, it's nice little perfect hexagon there.
Yep.
Let's. I'm gonna fast forward to 6 minutes, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I'll follow. All good.
We're gonna just go fast forward through the early game. I assume it's gonna be a standard, Himalayas build order.
So I'm gonna stop at 6 minutes.
Yep.
Let me know when you're there. I'm at 6:01.
Okay, I'm almost there. All right. Okay, I got to 6:04.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
You start play. I'll start counting from 5, and you play it on 3. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're back, folks. We are. This is game number 2, probably. So again.
Yes, it's game 2. Yes.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Looks like everybody's just gone for pretty standard builds as expected. Commerce, Civic. Nothing too fancy here. Everybody just building towards each other. Nice, chill early game. Definitely interested to see what sort of strategies AZ go for. Like in the dropped game, right? The EL had the significantly worse rares, and they kind of made up for it by 1, having better micro and taking much better trades, and 2, the wonder from Dave, right? Those 2 factors contributed to them being way ahead.
And the raid.
Yeah.
And the raids. The raids were perfect by iRush.
So this game, AZ, they're the ones who are lacking in the rares. So where do you think they're going to plan to make it up? Are they going to rush? Are they going to raid a lot? Are they going to throw down some wonders? What's the strategy here?
Well, hopefully they raid a lot, unlike last game where they got raided a lot, because now they're really in the hot seat. Like it is looking very rough for them. So they need to cause something to happen quickly, and they need to be very decisive because they're on a very short time clock.
Yeah. They're on thin ice right now.
Sugar, Pappy. Oh my god. Yeah,
Diamonds.
no.
Yeah.
They need to triple someone. This is almost an auto lose position. So they need to do something.
Yeah. Admittedly, last game we did say that the rares were similarly AZ favored, but still, I think EL were able to make it up. So let's see. We've got Language of Trees sieving over to this left side. He's already at 100 timber income. We'll have plenty of food income to go with it as well, given that he's a pretty fast Nubians player. Dave is already maxed out. He's at 100, 110, and 40 wealth income, and he's using sugar and furs. Like he's gonna have a very, very fast start.
Yep. He's gonna be fine. Inca with silver, Pappy, and sugar, almost unbeatable. So,
yeah.
Like I said earlier, AZ needs to do something because this is looking very hard.
And it's hard to do something on the top side, right? Because you're against a Chinese player who's pretty far away. The border push is not quite there, and so language of trees, sitting over to this left side, or to the bottom side. A wise choice. Just going to be try and be aggressive on this side. Would love to see him throw down a barracks. Oh, he's going to throw down a temple instead. Yikes.
Yeah, I think India is the slowest. Well, I mean, Inca's the slowest, but India is still pretty vulnerable because Inca is pretty safe after 2 with the gold. So maybe they triple Inca. I could see that working. But they need to do something very fast.
Honestly, I would love to see a despot from the Nubians player.
Oh, yeah. I think with Silk, they can go Calm 2, Despot, and that could work. That could definitely work.
Yeah.
The timing will still be there, and they could pull it off.
Yeah, honestly, I think if he goes straight Despot, I think the game is winnable. Right? He he's paired. Oh, if you look at oh my goodness, look at Old Monk. He's gone Calm 2 already. He's the one going Calm 2. 130 food, 130 timber.
Yeah, it's Calm 2, Despot, Inca could work as well.
Yeah,
they need to go. So.
Yeah, they need to go soon. They have to have a really good build order, and Dave's gonna age up. It looks like he's gonna do the same build that he did. Oh, maybe not. He threw down a mine.
No, he's not.
Maybe not.
University.
Okay, University of Mine. Maybe he will. I mean, he's still gonna have close to enough money. He's not throwing down a Senate quite yet. I think he's recognized that he has a very fast age time, so.
Well, with silver, furs, diamonds, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 9-minute finish aging for Inca player, you know.
For Inca, yeah, Inca's very slow, but yeah, no. He's gonna be dangerous. Dangerous Dave. I think that was one of his older tags too.
Yeah, looks like he's not going for Colossus.
Yeah, he doesn't need to.
Yeah, he's actually going to go for a very early stable. I think he's going to go for an aggressive play here. He's finishing up Mill 2. He's gotten his stable out. He's going to have a bunch of metal income with the miners, which he has yet to make yet, but he's queuing them up.
He's going to do the raids because he's already in a winning position. The way you stay in a winning position, you raid your opponent.
Yep.
So,
raid your opponent and don't die.
Red.
Yeah, don't die too.
That is in fact important, yep.
Let's not miss that. And again, as you can see, Steezy's denying relics. Again, AZ's not protecting their rares. Just very mistakes you can't be making.
Yeah.
If you go to relics, it's in the middle.
Yeah, it's in the middle. I see it, yeah. I'm surprised. Dave. Oh, Dave's actually the one using it. Wow. Very greedy of him, but
I mean, if you're not going to defend it, you should be using it. So
yeah,
sneaking rares is always a thing at top level play.
Yeah. Dave's going to move his merchant away because it looks like Steez is going to lose his archer.
Yeah, but the damage was done. He killed a villager. He sent two merchants away.
Oh, what?
So.
He's not going to lose his archer? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness! What is this?
Oh man, no. Wait, no. Yeah, he saved it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then you can see Irish is raiding again on
he's
die.
raiding Silk in the middle of the map and die. Wow. Again, Irish is just crushing his side. Really well played by him.
It's the season of giving, boys. We're just giving everything away.
Yeah, you have a merchant, and you have a merchant. Everybody gets a merchant.
Exactly. What a wonderful time.
Old Monk's going to go for Colossus. Looks like he's going to try to pull a heavy boom with that Commerce 2, but I think this is going to prompt Dave to go for Despot, I think.
Oh man, he better not go Calm 2. He better Despot. They're going to be dead.
Yeah, Dave is queuing up the Senate now. He's at 110 food, 110 timber, 116 wealth. He's maxed out his knowledge he's maxed out 1 university. And they've already done some decent pressure on this side. I think they have what it takes to win with a Despot, but not entirely sure. You know, Steez is going for a Senator.
Yeah, let's see what Dave picks. I know Jadden's a fan of the late Senate because you want to get like your university up, your mines going, and all that can come before Senate. So let's see what he gets though.
Looks like he's not rushing. Dave's going to throw down another university, and he has money for a Despot, but he's not going for it. So I think he's going to go back and boom for it.
Yeah, I don't know. He's stalling a little bit. Maybe waiting for Senator Metal.
Yeah, I think he's going for Senator. I think like he sees most of the rares from his opponents, and he's like, okay, well we have much better rares. So even if our opponents have Colossus, maybe we can boom it out. Which, you know, considering their track record, I think given all the raids they've been very good at doing, I think that is, very possible.
Yeah, no. I'm on Dave's point of view, and he's just microing his raids. He's got like heavy calves all over the place, so.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going for Civic too. He's not going to that spot. At least not yet. If he's going to do it at all, but yeah, he's just microing.
Yep,
If
he just hasn't clicked up.
take a look at the top side, looks like in terms of both players, looks like iRush's eco is a little bit better, although he doesn't have any universities yet. He's building his first university now, and for Ryuzaki, he's going to get his Mill 2 faster, and he already has a full university of 65.
Ryuzaki. Yeah, but then if you look at the rares, iRush has diamonds, furs, tobacco, silver, salt, pappy, and wine.
Wine, yeah.
What do you
I mean,
want?
those are some nice rares. Some very, very nice rares.
Oh, man. But let's see what Inca,
Yeah, on the
Old Monk's getting raided by Dave.
Yeah, but some nice raids here in the back. Ryuzaki raiding with a hoplite. This is exactly what you want to do. Obviously, you know, it's trying to keep your opponent on their toes, dealing some economic damage. That's kind of how EL won that first game, right? Like, obviously the Colossus from Dave was great, but the continued raids from iRush and Dave, it's just really brutal.
Yeah, maybe Ryuzaki learned his lesson, and now he's being raiding, so
Yeah.
that's good. I think,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, plop down Hanging Gardens.
Yeah.
Very, very greedy.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's
'Cause,
fine to do this because we see that Trees is on the bottom side here. We also see that you know they're Chinese players. Ryuzaki's pretty far away from iRush. I think he's definitely fair. It's fair game to go for this, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's fair if AZ is not going to play correctly, because AZ should be just tripling the other side. I think that's their only chance.
Yeah.
So if he goes Hanging Gardens in this situation and the other side gets triples and dies, well, it's just, I think it's a greedy play, but it's just from different perspectives, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he can be punished for this, but I guess Ryuzaki plans on just staying up here and dying slowly, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's his plan.
I know it sounds harsh, but it's just the reality with all these
it is
rares.
the reality, yeah.
I think that's something we should fix for the future tournaments. Rare imbalance, like games like these.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
some
I
of
think
our developer coder guys could fix it. But
yeah, I mean, there is a rule about if teams have a bunch of the really good rares, you can ask for a rematch. But I think given that there's no other games, I'm assuming that's not the case. Also, I mean, if you look at AZ scouting, this is a terrible job of scouting. They have no idea of any of their opponent's rares, aside from like a couple.
Oh man,
Yeah.
they just think they're chilling. All they see is tobacco, cotton, salt. That's all they see. They don't know that there's silver, furs, diamonds, pappy wait for them. Oh man.
Pretty slow game, all things considered. You know, we saw some early raids and stuff, but after it slowed down a bit, you know, everybody's kind of just chilling in their own world, just booming up. Nothing too fancy. Everybody's playing SimCity here.
So yeah, SimCity, our alternate title for Ron. Just we play SimCity half the time, and then we play Madman boxing matches with Militia or something.
Yeah, yeah. Here we're gonna see a light raid on Cotton from Old Monk. Nice work. He's got a cataphract there. Also, he's giving me things to talk about.
Yeah, but that's just all they think they know. They don't see any of the good rares. They just see all these bad tier 3 rares.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're about to hit by. They're gonna get hit with a freight train very soon.
Yeah.
Just because they don't know the situation they're in, and it just shows you the lack of complete scouting like this is gonna really punish you.
Yeah, admittedly, EL haven't done an amazing job scouting either, but they see most of their opponent's rares. There are like some swaths of territory that are as of yet unchecked, but I mean, they have really good rares, so I think they're content to sit back and boom a little bit. And it is Dave going to be aging up to age 3. Let's take a look at what the Inca player with Com 2 has gone. He's a very greedy boy. He's got 140 food, 210 timber, 177 wealth. You know, that's a lot of resources. I think he's going to be able to max out, or he's going to be able to get his eco up really, really high and then go for a nice long boom. But obviously, Dave has a pretty good boom himself. He's gotten science to 115 knowledge income, 161 wealth, and 15 scholars. Look at iRush's knowledge income. He's gotten 7 scholars, but 125 knowledge with that Hanging Gardens compared to the 104 of Rizaki. Rizaki doing a good job trying to max out his knowledge, matching the Hanging Gardens player. And Language of Trees, he's at 130 knowledge with 7 scholars. Actually, this is Power of Nubians. All these knowledge rares give him a ton of knowledge. And
Dave's rating Silk again.
Yeah, 140 for 150 for Old Monk, and only 100 for Steez.
I think another mistake as well is Rizaki didn't match the Wonder from Hanging Gardens. Pyramids is still available, and that's a good way to match it. Otherwise, you just plan on dying slowly if you're going to be down a Wonder deficit.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, the problem with Pyramids is you never really have the money to slot it into your build order. Basically, like Hanging Gardens, it's good because you just need the food, and then the wealth, it's just like you just don't make as many units, basically. But the timber is crucial, right? You need to get your infrastructure down. That second barracks, the second stable. Admittedly, I am a little surprised that he hasn't gone for it yet. Like he's been kind of sitting on doing. He's just kind of sitting here doing nothing. So
it looks bad, but I know people, especially Jatton. Jatton always goes for pyramids. He does a wonderful job at utilizing.
Here? I saw a bunch of skeletons. I looked bottom and I saw a bunch of skeletons.
Yeah. I was watching that. They took a bad trade.
Oh yes.
Oh man, they're taking bad trades. They have less stronger rares.
Old Monk's gonna walk in a Cataphrax.
I know.
He might actually kill a light horse. Oh, he does kill a light horse. Okay, very cool. Definitely
what
not
time
worth
are you
it.
At?
I'm at 1807. 1807.
1807. Okay.
Nice raid here in the back from Old Monk. He's gonna snipe this Salt Merchant. Definitely helpful, but I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, they're killing all the tier 3 rares.
iRush
they don't know about the
raiding
good
with
ones.
Knights here. It's gonna snipe off some Obsidian Merchants.
Yeah. Oh, and then if you look in the back, Dave again is killing 3 Obsidian. Oh, you just said that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, these are Dave's units. Sorry, not iRush's.
Yeah, Dave's units. That's why I was like saying it again.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's see. Does Old Monk have any army? He does not. He has 0 units. He has them upgraded.
Yeah, we're playing SimCity here.
Yeah.
Bear.
AZ is actually leading in score. If you look at it, they're actually leading in score. But I mean, they just have no army.
It's a grand illusion. Yeah, it's a grand illusion.
Yeah, the city of Kolo is gonna go down quickly, and also the infrastructure for Language Trees is getting sieged down pretty easily here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make units if you don't have stables, so.
Yep.
Again, Steezy's trotting along.
Yeah. Emerald Mage, I see in the chat, Emerald Mage says AZ ahead in score, so they are doing very well given the rares. Yeah, that's fair. They, definitely making a game out of it.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
We'll have to see. I mean, once it gets to age 4, I think the Indians start to really come online. The elephants are much better in age 4 than they are in age 3.
They're doing what they can, like in terms of micro, but their macro is just way off. They're already gonna fall behind. You're gonna see it pretty shortly. So I disagree with Emerald Mage, but in the sense of what they have, I guess they're doing okay.
Yeah.
But we'll see. If you look at this poor caravan, he's just walking in front of a bunch of army, in front of Dave and Steezy. You see that?
Oh yeah. That poor caravan gonna get chased by some knights. And Language of Trees really unable to answer this raid from Dave. He sent 2 light cavalry, but both of them are gonna die. If he's paying attention, he could have just microed them in circles because light cavalry are faster than knights, and then Dave's knight just burns to attrition. So.
Yep. Good point.
Nice little raid here in the back from Old Monk. This knight's done a lot of work. So really nice work from him.
Oh yeah.
Ryuzaki has a decent-sized army, but it's not going to be able to break the fort plus similar-sized army for iRush. So that's going to be big trouble for him soon, because iRush again is sitting at 160 knowledge income compared to 146 for Ryuzaki. Nice work from him. Ryuzaki is getting raided in the back by Dave. Dave has been exceptional with these raids these last 2 games.
Yep, his standard play is really coming out. In standard, it's all about raiding, and he's just showing a master class right now.
Yeah, I mean, look at Dave's army in the front. Like, he's sparing units raiding, but he's at 92 population. This is a very large army. He's gonna have armor soon, I assume. Does he have a fort? His fort's going up now.
Yeah, he's building it as cap. just to make like sure like there's no chance of a cap sack.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the biggest mistake was Ryuzaki not coming over to the side. I think that was their only chance. Because if you look top, he even has way less army than
Yeah,
Irish
he's
right
getting
now.
massacred right now. Irish, one being on the defense, and two just being ahead in resources, in tech, in army. You know, it's...
And on top of that, he was losing with a better position last game, so he knows he can't take on Irish. So I don't understand why he wouldn't try to make a play bot.
Yeah.
Just go, make something happen other side. If he knows he can't outclass Irish, you got to think about the players you're playing against as well. And I think that's just one big mistake you can point out.
Yeah. I also like in terms of game impact, it feels like Ryuzaki really hasn't like done anything. Like he's just kind of like sat there and like is gonna die eventually. I would love to see him.
He let all his rares die last game, so.
Yeah.
Oh, if you look bot, I think Steezy's making a play.
Yeah, he's gonna take Jebel Barkle. I'm at 2143. Take it pretty easily.
Okay.
He's losing a lot of units to this tower and fort, but it's definitely worth it because Language Trees has nothing. So.
Yeah, unfortunate by Language of Trees. I'm not sure why they subbed out Lelouch. Lelouch did amazing with his raids last game.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a timing issue.
Yeah, maybe it's a time thing. Yeah.
Lelouch had to go to bed or something.
Yeah. But yeah, this game looks pretty over now. I mean, still, Old Monk is doing very well for himself, but he doesn't have Com 2 yet. He doesn't have Mill 2, and he just dies to a combined Dave and Steve's army. I imagine Steve is going to rotate over as soon as he finishes taking out these fortifications from Language of Trees.
Yep, and then Dave's going for pyramids. With 21 scholars, he's ready to go H4.
Yeah, and we see Ryuzaki way ahead of the game, gonna go for Forbidden City because he's gonna die.
I mean, this Forbidden City's way too late. He should have got it immediately after Hanging Gardens went down. Should have saved up for it, and even then, you'd get pyramids before Forbidden. So, just I don't know. He's struggling, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, Jadden, I see you in the chat. If you're still here, I have a quick question for you. So, in terms of the drop rules, because we did have a drop in the game that we were playing earlier, in terms of the drop rules, if you have a team that drops, and then if you have like Team A and Team B, and Team A is very ahead, Team A is very ahead compared to Team B, and one of Team A drops, and Team B is like, no, we were actually very ahead. We're not giving you the win. Is that like, is there anything like the tournament organizers do about that, or is it just like they're scumbags but they get the win? Like, what are the rules about that? I'm just curious. Obviously, it doesn't really apply to this game because I think they're just playing it out. But
yeah, I think Jatton's talking about how AZ did very well, and that's true. They actually took a game off EL in their first encounter.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
AD does have the potential to win games. It's just a few mistakes here and there, such as the raiding incident, that can cost you. Because they're very strong players. They have the ability to win games, as they proved the first round. And just unfortunate that they couldn't pull together this game.
Wealth, all right?
Yeah, definitely. It feels like their team has been like just barely not there, and you know, if they played a little bit tighter, maybe they could get there. But I think this game's going to be over pretty soon. Steez and Dave both have massive armies, and fortunately, Trees is just really unable to contribute much because he just lost so many units early on. Even though Old Monk has a massive army, it's really tough. And like if you see Old Monk says come, and then Flinger of Trees is like no army, no armor, bad eco, which is like
bad eco.
Yeah.
Oh man,
bit rough.
Old Monk is setting up for the flank, but you can't win 1 versus 2.
Yeah, maybe if he gets a good ambush and kills all the archers, possibly. But actually, I love Steez's army composition. He's actually like gotten like no crossbows, and he's gotten all pikemen and elephants.
Yep, they're very well done by Steez to counter Inca's heavy spam.
Yeah. Oh, look at this! It's going to be a forced march in the backside for Old Monk. He's going to try and do a little wraparound, but Steez and Dave are already moving into position to intercept. Looks like Old Monk might just be able to snipe these sieges.
You gotta micro these kind of all-ins.
think Old Monk needs to run with
look-
these. Yeah, it looks like Old Monk's going to lose his army here. It looks like Dave's cavalry were able to get to the back lines, while Old Monk was not able to send his cavalry to the back lines. Although Trees is trying his best to help out. He's got a couple units.
Steez is on stand ground. That's why it's sort of even.
Oh
Steez
no,
is on
yeah,
stand
he's
ground.
got his whole army on stand ground. That's pretty awkward, but does look like Old Monk's gonna lose his entire army before aging. So yeah, that's gonna be the game.
The season of giving. Yes.
Indeed.
Unfortunate. But just to reiterate, these players are very strong. They did very well with what they had, and they did take a game off EL. So
Yeah,
it's just they
definitely.
couldn't pull through this game.
Yeah, on the top side, Irush is crushing Ryuzaki. Irush is going to be aging now, and Ryuzaki needs a little bit more knowledge, but his army is smaller, and he doesn't have any sieges compared to the 4 sieges of Irush, so...
Oh man, yeah. It's just he's getting outclassed by Irish, it seems. Which is fair. Irish is a very good player, so there's all respect there. Dave age 4 as well, with 270 gold.
Yeah. And we see here, this is actually a really wise move from Irish. He's actually going to back off because, 1, he's pop capped. He can't produce any more army. And 2, he's going to be able to get Monarchy upgrade and all his unit upgrades. And he knows that Ryuzaki's behind. So as soon as he finishes the upgrades, he can just go back in. Bombards reduce the city really fast. And yeah. And the other side's winning, so he's in no rush. So
It's a chill game.
Steez is going to click
yeah,
up.
I feel like... Oh man. Again, Pyramids on Inca is also strong because you get 50 more commerce space with for gold and food, not just food.
Yeah,
with Pyramids.
definitely.
So Inca is at 270 when he should be at 250
Yeah, that's
or
fair.
215.
Well, Inca already have bonus cap, so I'm actually not sure if that applies. But otherwise, yes.
Yeah.
Dave's poking and prodding. Doesn't quite have a supply wagon here, so that's a bit annoying for him. But he is... this is a pretty awkward army composition because he still has all these archers that he really wanted to trade out. He just doesn't have the population if he sees 97 out of 100. Heavy archers suck. They're really terrible. So, especially in Age
Poor
4, you know,
guys.
there's... Crossbows are
Yeah,
fine.
they don't do much.
Yeah, Tree's gonna throw away at night. Yeah, on the top side, like, Irish just walks in with his upgraded army, and he, like, Ryuzaki can't fight
And
that.
Monarch coming soon. So
Yeah.
he should have enough to click up to Monarch.
He's actually, I think he's gonna save for Mill 4, I'm not sure though. But he just has a
Oh,
ton
yeah.
of resources floating, so...
With Mill, you can save Mill 4 instead of Monarch. You get the same armor and you get more units. So
Yeah.
Mill, yep, there he goes for Mill. Perfect.
Yeah, it's
well
just
done.
it's
done.
really just because he's maxed out, like in population. He just can't like if he goes Monarch, he can't make his army that much stronger. Whereas if he goes Mill 4, he can get armor plus he makes a bunch more units. So that's
Exactly. Mill 4 over Monarch is very situational.
Yeah.
So
Dave's gonna go for Monarchy. Old Monk has age. He's also going for Monarchy, but his army is very small comparatively. Doesn't really have the backbones, the DPS of arquebusiers or crossbows or anything like that. He just has heavy knights and pikemen. And you know, Trees is trying his best to help out. He's got a couple spies, which is really nice against the elephants of Steez. But I mean, their opponents already have a couple scouts, so.
yeah, I know. I would say Steezy's army comp is very fun to play, just because you can just charge all in with the heavies and elephants,
Yeah.
and then micro with the crossbows.
Yeah, it's definitely a brawling army comp.
Yeah, and then you can see he's also going Mill 4. Very well done by these
Yeah,
guys.
he's
know
pop
that.
capped, so he's just gonna get more army. Dave's splitting off more units to raid. This game looks pretty one for EL, unless AZ can do something crazy. But I think it's pretty over.
Oh yeah, it's been over, I guess.
Yeah. Old Monk he just doesn't have the army to fight all these units.
And then Language of Trees is still H3.
Yeah, Language of Trees has been really struggling in this game. He's gonna click up now, so very soon, anyways. I went 28-52.
28-52. Oh man, I'm a couple inches.
Okay. But I mean, Irosh is crushing this top side. He's just like he doesn't need to do anything fancy. He just needs to not take an awful fight, and then he'll win. So get a maxed out army, and then yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He could still take like 3 awful fights and still win this side, just with Hanging Gardens. And salt, and silver, and diamonds, and furs, and Pappy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, this is, I think, maybe, I know we have some coders in the community, maybe they can fix, and we can get that community patch in, we can fix the rare generation, because sometimes it's just very unbalanced.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like,
we'll
we
see.
can fix,
There are
we
a
can
lot of
fix
things
the
in
nation
Machinations to fix.
selections.
Yeah. Okay,
But
they're going
we
to go for a
can't fix
charge
the
on this
rare.
bottom side. EL here. They just kind of got walk
Here we
in.
go.
Very little
time are
micro
you
from Old Monk. I'm at 29.45.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just kind of walking in. It looks like it's slightly AZ favored so far, but I mean they need more cavalry to deal with all this backline.
Oh, getting some bribes out. He got
Yeah.
2 bribes.
These bribes are really nice. These spies are definitely doing a lot of work, and
Oh,
if
man.
Old Monk can
Yeah,
get all
this-
these cavalry to the backline and crush all these crossbows, maybe they have a chance. But there are so many
It
archers here.
It looks like they're sort of pushing through, but there's just so many archers, like you said.
Yeah.
But no, I think they got it because the army comp, all the heavies died from Steez.
But they're still EL is still pouring in units. I think they're going to win this because Old Monk can't
they'll win long
reinforce.
term.
Yeah,
But-
if you look at just look at how much army is left. Like obviously that was a really bad trade, relatively, right? Like for EL, that's like about the worst the fight could have gone. But even then, they still killed like basically all of Old Monk and Language of Trees army.
And there's a tactic of where you take fights like these where you lose army just to get rid of your archers, sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty
But
much.
it's highly situational.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't throw away your archers.
Don't go just throwing away units. You have to know what you're doing. So
Yeah, on the top side, it's a big fight. I missed some of. I'm sorry. We've got Ryuzaki running in and fighting Irush with Dutch, who I actually don't know who wins this fight. I think it's Irush because he has more cavalry left over, but
yeah,
maybe
that generally
it's
is a good
Ryuzaki.
indicator.
I'm not sure.
It looks pretty even.
Yeah. Oh, there's a couple.
But Irish has more.
arquebusiers
Irish has more.
Okay. There's an arquebusier from Old Monk here, and Irish is gonna finish up his porcelain tower.
Oh,
so.
he's getting a bribe. He just got a bribe off on a heavy.
Yeah.
Oh my. And that might be it. That might be just the deciding factor. No.
No, because I think the city's. Yeah, it's still very close, but I think. I don't know. I think Ryuzaki's got it. I'm not entirely sure.
If you look, there's a random arquebusier from Old Monk here as well.
Yeah, he's just chilling. Oh, if you look at the right side, Irish is gonna sneak the capital of Beijing because Ryuzaki's not paying attention. He's got a crossbow and a fire lancer. He's gonna take a cap sack for free. Ryuzaki's gonna call it. Wow, 2 unit cap sack, easy money. Admittedly, Dave was there with the heavy knight that was also raiding, but. Yeah, that's gonna be GG. It's been over for a while now, but nice just chef's kiss at the end from Irush.
Yeah, nice way to cap it off. If you look bot though, they actually pushed Steezy back. Oh, where is Steezy actually? Oh, Steezy went to his cap.
Oh, he's doing something fancy on
What
spawn side. I don't know.
the
GG's
heck?
called, so I think the game's over.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Steezy's just trolling, but
I don't know. But final point, definitely I think. Very impressive display from AZ. You know, nobody expected them to give EL such a good fight, and taking a game off them, that's definitely impressive. And I think I'm looking forward to see these AZ players in the future.
yeah, no, these guys are very good. They had their one win over EL in the first series, and they're looking to win game 2. It just a bit about outplayed in the sort of booming style of a game. That's why I don't recommend. If you're gonna get outmatched skill-wise, don't go on a booming map because you're gonna get outbuilt, outrated, and that sort of thing. It really showed in game 2. So I didn't like that they picked Himalayas, but just for future note, if you're gonna be down on personnel, try to pick aggressive, like chance maps rather than booming maps, where everything's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is gonna wrap up our series for today. Yeah, hope everybody enjoyed our casting of this match. It's going to be EL in the top 8, and so for that reason, let's take a look at the
If you look at the resources sent.
Oh, I just closed out of the thing. Sorry.
Yeah, Dave actually sent a lot of gold, so he's oversent at 1100, while Old Monk sent 950 gold.
Yeah.
So both Inca players were sending gold, and Dave actually got the most ruins by far, 300.
That must
Which is
have
very
explained why
impressive.
he was so fast with that 9-minute finish aging time.
Yeah, Dave always seems to get the most ruins. Very, very well. Good at scouting, I guess.
Yeah.
Very well done.
All right. Well, so as we promised, we're going to talk now. Take a quick minute to talk about the playoffs. Again, these are the top 8 matches, and these matches are all correct now. So yeah, do you have the page open, the browser page?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right.
You want to start on a particular
yeah. So
matchup?
let's just walk through each of the matches one by one. So for the first matchup, we've got Tough versus Apocalypse Survivors, or AS. So that's my clan. I'm not playing, but that is my clan. So for Tough, they've got Wolfie, Mouse, Coldfire, Sun, and Surge. And they're up against Apocalypse Survivor, which is Daredevil, Duzzles, Joven, Xano, and Spiridon, and Daredevil's Sermon.
Daredevil Sermon. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering who that was.
Yeah. So who do you think's favorite in this matchup?
Most definitely Tough is favored, but AS has some chances because we're in the round of 8 guys. So by now, every team is pro, so they're all gonna know what they can do, and so they do have chances. However, I would say Tough is favored. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that generally the consensus is that Tough is gonna crush AS here. As an AS fan myself, I part of me wants to say like. Part of me wants to say, like, I think it's even. Like, I believe in my clan members, but also part of me recognizes, they're against a lot of player skill. I think for all the trolling and toxicity from Mouse and Surge, they are very, very good Resonations players, and I expect them to do very well. In this matchup.
Surge is a big troll, but basically he's also very aggressive. So him and Mouse are hyper aggressive. They can pull off very aggressive plays. And that's something AS needs to look out for. And as far as AS goes, I would think of, I've played some of these guys. I've played more with the Tough people. But the AS guys, what I've known is they're just more all-around players. They don't specialize in one specific thing is what I've seen. But hopefully they can have some chances and maybe they can pull off a play. Let's say Tough goes too aggressive and messes up a rush. Maybe they can win off something like that. But like I said earlier, all these guys are very good pros. And they have chances, so it's going to be very fun.
Yeah, I think the thing I'm looking for most in this matchup, I'm definitely looking for Duzzles to have a big impact. Yeah, I think he's one of the strongest players in this AS team, and I think he often has he's either amazing or he's like fine. You know what I mean? He's never like in the middle, like good-ish. He's like either fine, like he does his job kind of, or he's amazing. He like carries the game.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect point. I've heard other people say it as well. Duzzles is always solid. He will always do his job, or he can sometimes carry. So that's actually a perfect point.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking for Duzzles to make some amazing plays. Obviously, no pressure on him specifically. I think all of these players do have the capacity. I'm definitely interested to see different members of Tough play as well. I would love to see Sun and Coldfire's Legendary Booming, and I would also love to see Wolfie.
Coldfire is a boomer, which is kind of a mix. It allows Surge and Mouse to do the aggressive work, while you can have Coldfire, a skilled boomer, just boom in the back. So they have a good team comp. They have people for specific roles, and that's really what you want. You want people doing their job well, and you want them to do it very well. Yeah,
definitely. Let's. What do you think the score will be in this matchup? And obviously, who do you think will win?
I think since it's all pros here, I think AS has a chance to get a game. So I'm going 3-1.
Yeah, I would also say I think it's going to be 3-1 in favor of Tough. I think Tough is going to still come out on top. Yeah. I think player skill wise they're just like through the roof. But I think AS definitely has a pretty good chance to take a game or two off of them. So good luck to both teams. I think they might be playing this like on Saturday, but I'll get back to you on that.
A lot of teams are. Yeah, a lot of teams are playing this Saturday. Okay, so let's look at the next matchup.
Yeah, so this is Studcats Meows versus MFW. So for Meows, we've got Bob, Ujin, Momo, Meliodas, and Flames, and they're up against MFW. So this is Alan. That's whatever this name is. That's Alan, Dragonio, Naoto, Blast, and Coco. So who do you like here? What do you think's favorite?
This is a matchup nightmare for MFW. I think this is heavily Studcat Mao's favored, just because Momo is a very aggressive player. He's like he fits better on tough, I would say. He matches more their style, but Momo knows how to make an aggressive play. Very well done. And then Flames is one of the top raiders in the game. So with Flames raid, Momo's aggression, and then Woojin is a championship player. He won Nomadium 2. He was in that team. So it's just this Studcats team is very well rounded. I know Bob is there as well. Bob is a very solid player. But just Flames and Momo alone, their aggressive presence is just hard counters what MFW likes to do. Because if I explain MFW, everybody knows they have Coco, and Coco is one of the best boomers in the game. And just the aggressive style that Studcats can bring is just going to put a heavy toll on Coco's playstyle. And it's just going to be very difficult for MFW, I think, because Coco is their best player, and if he's put under a lot of pressure from Flames or Momo, things could go very wrong. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Meows I think it's actually like pretty similar to the AS versus Tough matchup. I think Meows are definitely favored, and I think MFW has some chances to take games off them. But I agree with you. I think playstyle wise here, it's a big difference. You know, Momo, we've seen him go Despot Iroquois to straight Despot and make a ton of space for his team to carry the game, or just kill his opponent outright. So I'm really looking. I think we'll be looking at Momo a lot in this cast here. It's just, you know, he's one of the most integral players for Meows. Obviously,
go
ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna point out again. Bob and Woojin are all around great players, very, very solid. They can take a variety of different play styles. And then Flames is godly at raiding, while Momo is very good at aggressive. So I don't like the matchup for MFW, but we don't want to make it sound too bad. So what MFW has going for him basically is Coco, his boom he will always win his side if left alone. So that's always something you should look out for. Naruto, I heard very good things from him. Naruto, if he's not rusty, he can outperform most of the Studcat players. Dragoneer is popping off in the tournament, at least. He's been performing very well.
Yeah.
And then Alan, I know there's a meme with Tournament Alan, but if he can get around Tournament Alan, he can also go well.
I mean, Alan is like, you know, he's the meme is right. He's one of the more inconsistent tournament players. He's either very, you know, he's very good in pubs, like in lobby games, but he's not so great in tournaments. If Alan can pull together a really nice performance along with his teammates, I think they definitely have a very good chance to at least take some games off of Meows, if not win the series. I
think they have. Or go ahead.
A lot of it is momentum, right? It's psychological momentum. You know, you lose the first game, and then you're like, we shouldn't have lost that. Let's win the next one, and then you lose the next one, and the next one. It's like if MFW can get an early lead, maybe with a nice clean game number one, maybe they can throw their opponents off and sneak a win there. But definitely, I think still Meow's favorite matchup.
Yeah, to close it off, just the last saying, I think they do have a better chance of upsetting Meows than AS over Tough, just because I think MFW is slightly stronger than AS. So they do have chances, because these guys are very good at what they do, and I look forward to seeing how this nightmare matchup for MFW plays out. I'm afraid for Coco it won't go so well.
Yeah. What do you think the score will be?
Oh, this one, both sides have very skilled players, so it depends on how it plays out. But in terms of matchups, I could very viably see Meows going 3-0. Very viably see it. Just because their playstyle counters MFW very hard.
I think for me, I would say it's either going to be 3-1, or it's either going to be 3-0 in favor of Meows, or 3-1 in favor of MFW.
That's actually a good way to put it, because MFW does have some serious chances, but like I said, if it starts going bad like it should because of the matchup style, then they're just going to be out in the water. So this one's going to be my favorite one to watch, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's such a stylistic matchup.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's match number 2. Let's take a look at match number 3. That's AZ Deja Vu versus White Lotus or WL. So for AZ, they've got Mentalist, Young One, Lube, Immaculate, and Bit Phoenix. And then on the other side for White Lotus, it's WL. We've got Jatten, This is TNO, I think. Prolays, Fatabi, and Dane. So who do you think is favored here?
Oh man, yeah. I know people, friends from both sides, but I think Deja Vu slightly favored just because they're more well-rounded. Although White Lotus literally has the skill to outclass AZ. They have the player skill to outclass. It's whether or not their team play comes into effect.
Yeah.
Because AZ is going to play team-wise. I think they're a lot more solid, while White Lotus has the more skilled individual players. So Jatten will beat anyone on the team. TNO is pretty good. Prolays, I don't know why people trash Prolays a lot, but he's also very decent. Fatabi can hold his own, and then you have Dane as well. He's okay. But they definitely have the player skill. It just, in terms of macro, in terms of how they put it together, White Lotus might struggle with AZ.
Yeah, I do agree that it feels like we've seen Jaden stream a lot. Big shout outs to Jaden. He's one of the main tournament organizers. He's one of the people who keeps this community together and really keeps it functional. So huge shout out to him. We couldn't do this without you.
Yeah, we couldn't.
And, Jaden makes a lot of streams, and we see him play a lot with his teammates. And honestly, I think you're right. The biggest flaw is the teamwork. It's just the communication is a bit lacking compared to like their individual skill. Like it feels like when they're playing team games, it's for whatever reason, it's just not as together as it could be. Like they're winning their games because of their individual skill, not because they're particularly working together super well. So at least that's my impression from streams.
Yeah, and then what I've noticed, I know Jatten is really the carry of our community at least, and as far as streaming goes, some games he's not really zoned in, but other games he zones in really hard. So I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised by Jatten's performance, because I feel like he still has a lot to show based on just like a casual stream, because in the tournament, everyone's focused, and typically most people will shine on the moment, or some people will crack. But I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup. I think this one's going to be close. So I'm going to go.
I agree. I think
3-2 somebody. 3-2 somebody.
Yeah, I think for me actually, my money is actually on White Lotus. I think it's going to be 3-2 White Lotus, and I think
3-2 White Lotus. Okay.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is their secret weapon is Fatabi. Fatabi has the biggest brain of any Rise of Nations player I've ever seen. Like,
man,
you have your Surges, you have your Flames, you have your Jats. They're all like very experienced. They've been playing the game for a long time. They're very, very good micro. Fatabi has the biggest brain, okay? Let me tell you. He tells me things, and I'm like,
please,
dude, like I can't comprehend your algorithms. Okay, what does that word mean? And he's been improving a lot. Like we saw him turn from the nobody knew who he was to carrying his team in Nordic Classic, and now he's on the big stage. He's in the top 8 of Nomadium 3, the biggest profile of the Rise of Nations tournament. I think the game is going to be. I think to me, I'm looking in this matchup mostly at Fatabi in terms of how well he plays, in addition to Prolays. I think Prolays, I think he's a really, really strong player, and I think we're going to see the effects of that in this matchup a lot.
Prolays is hit or miss. Sometimes he carries the team, and sometimes he almost throws the game.
Yeah,
but I think like that Greeks Science 2 instead of aging, and that one other cast we did together, but Prolays is hit or miss, but when he hits, he can hit hard.
Yeah.
So he can carry his own. And then it's funny you mentioned Fatabi. He's actually one of my closest friends in Ron. I talk to him a lot, and we always like discussing like macro stuff. So it's funny you mentioned that, because I've told Jatten and maybe Prolays repeatedly, just let Fatabi make the calls, because I think generally his calls will be correct.
Yeah.
So I would say if they let Fatabi make the calls, Jatten play his mind out, I think they have a chance. And if Prolays hits, if he's not playing off, I think they have a really good shot of going.
Yeah. So again, you think it's going to be 3-2. You're not sure who it's going to be. I think it's going to be 3-2 in favor of White Lotus.
Okay, I'll go 3-2 in favor of AZ. I know we've talked about White Lotus, so let's point out a couple strengths of AZ before we move on.
First of all, Mentalist, again, he's one of those people that's incredibly toxic outside of game, but he's very good at Resonations, so props to him for that.
He's quite the personality, yes.
Yeah, indeed.
Very, very interesting, very interesting.
I definitely, I think, to me, the strongest players are young. Aside from Mentalist, are Young One and Immaculate. I think they're both extremely top-tier players, very experienced. I think we've seen in past tournaments Immaculate really carrying the game. Like we've seen him I've seen him go he plays Japs and he goes Civic 2, Commerce 2, and Ancient Age, and it just completely booms out of control. And then obviously, definitely wouldn't count out Lube or Bit Phoenix themselves. They're both very solid players. So yeah, I'm just very excited to watch this match. I think this is probably the closest top 8 match in my opinion.
Yeah, and then Mentalist, early game from 1 to 3 is very high tier. He does a great job there. Young One is known for rushing. He even taught one of my other friends, Eminem. He was really close with Eminem, and they're really good rushers. So look forward to seeing Young One and see what he can do. Lube's an all-around great player. Same with Immaculate and Bit Phoenix as well. So yeah, this should be a fun one as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's look at the fourth and final match. We've got PLA Art of War versus EL. So for PLA, they've got PLA Linky, PLA Angelo, PLA TNT, and PLA Cossack. On the other side for EL, who we just saw play, they've got Dave, Boo, Irish with Dutch, and Steez. Yeah, I mean, who do you think is favored in this matchup, and who are the players to look out for?
This one, I don't know. I mean, it's actually pretty even because I would say on both sides, there's two players on both sides that really stand out. So for EL, it's Dave and Boo. And then for PLA, it's Linky and TNT. I think these guys are noticeably stronger than their peers. So it's just going to be a factor of like what these two players can do on each team. And I'm not trying to disrespect the other players. They're very strong as well. But I think they're just the superstars. I guess in some of the community or all the community, they do very well. So I think it's actually pretty balanced. What do you think?
Yeah, I think
you could lead us somewhere.
Obviously, I've played a lot more with the EL team, and I've only really seen PLA play, in casts and the like.
Yeah.
I think honestly, for me, what I'm going to be looking for in this matchup is I'm going to see how much impact Irish with Dutch is going to have, because we saw in this last cast. He was like Dave was having a lot of impact, but Irish with Dutch was the one actually like doing the work. Like he has an even matchup. He's raiding his opponent. He's forcing his opponent on the back foot, and he's also winning his side while raiding all of his opponent's allies. Like
he outclassed his guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think we've seen games where he kind of falters and doesn't really do that much, but in the games where he's popping off, he really pops off. So I think to me that's the biggest thing I'll be looking for in this matchup. Just how much impact Irish with Dutch can get done.
It's gonna him versus Ankelo. I've played actually just one game with Ankelo, and he did very well against. I think it was Bit Phoenix. I don't know, but Ankelo was winning against Bit Phoenix, and it was just one game, so the rares could have been different. Anything could have happened. But the one game I played with Ankelo, he can play. So I'm looking forward to see how well he can match up with iRush, because I do know. I think Jatin said this. PLA is just a team of 3, so they only do 3v3s, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you could confirm that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I mean, I think PLA. I was talking with Old Dirty the other day, like months ago, but we were talking about the Nomadium 2 finals, and we eventually came to the conclusion that PLA they won that because they had the clean gameplay. Like they don't make as many mistakes as the other top tier teams. They don't have as many cracks to exploit. They're all very well rounded, and so for that reason, I think, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a PLA victory. I think my bet is going to be 3-1 for them.
3-1. Yeah, I know. Just to point out before I make my prediction, we're dealing with two of the top 5 players in Nomad in the world. I would say is Linky and Dave.
Yeah.
So these two guys, it's going to be a clash of juggernauts, I think, and I think just because it's Linky, TNT, and iRush and Dave. I mean Boo and Dave. I think the matchup's pretty even. I think you may have a point though, and iRush might be a little stronger than Ankelo because iRush can perform very well. But since it's only 3v3, I'm wondering if they're going to play Steez or not, or how they're going to work that out with Steez. Because Steez can still play as well.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a great player. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see what their strategy is for who's playing which games.
I'm going to go 3-2. Again, I think these are pretty close. I'm going 3-2 EL just because I think Irish can outplay Ankelo. Because I know TNT will match Boo and Linky will match Dave. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, definitely will. If you have opinions on who you think will win, if you have anything you'd like to say, feel free to let us know in the comments down below. Again, Thank you so much for watching today's stream. I'm really excited for the top 8. Hopefully some of the matches will be finished this weekend. I will try to announce it ahead of time there. Yeah, I'm very excited. Again, what do you think is your favorite match out of these 4?
Definitely the MFW and Studcats, because I think it could be the most explosive, because
Yeah.
it's such a counter. That's what my favorite one to watch. My friends are mostly in White Lotus, so I want to watch that one as well. And then Mentalist is always a meme, so we'll see what they do with that as well. Well, I guess it's
Yeah.
in the White Lotus one, so.
All right. Well,
All
yeah,
right, guys.
that's going to wrap up today's stream. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed. This is ASC the Parrot and Filisberto signing off.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you comment what you guys think about the matchups in the comments. We'll be sure to reply.
All right. See everybody later. Au revoir.
Bye-bye. Yep, bye-bye.